And we're back for another episode. In this episode, we're going to be doing the level 89 Melee DPS role quest in Final Fantasy XIV. And as always, hello from Mithrie. So, we are here in Upper Limsa Laminza at 1212, just outside the Maelstrom command. And we need to speak to the Maelstrom Secretariat. So, the quest is called Out of the Shadows. The Secretariat's resigned expression speaks volumes. Mithrie, I wish I had better news for you, but the blasphemy continues to elude us. So, can you hear me, Commander? This is Whiskate. I have an idea how we might take down the blasphemy. Meet me in Costa del Sol as soon as you are able. Well, that sounds promising. I'll tell the Admiral that you'll be away for a bit. Godspeed, and stay safe out there. Okay, so we need to teleport straight to Costa del Sol. So, let's go. Okay, so we made it to Costa del Sol. Let's talk to him. So, apologies for having you come all this way, Mithrie. Ever since our encounter with the blasphemy, I've been racking my brain to find a way of dealing with its debilitating attack. Sadly, I've come up empty-handed, and my companions fare no better. That's when I started thinking, if only our finest was still with us. He always had a knack for noticing what the rest of us missed. His eyes were so sharp, he could spot a foe's weakness with a single glance. It's thanks to him that we were able to slay both Leviathan and Titan, and live to tell the tale. The rub is, well, he's a bit eccentric. And yes, I know that you could say that about all company members. But unlike us, he prefers to work from the shadows. Truth be told, I've not seen him since the day we disbanded. I doubt he'd help his old comrades even if we asked. But an order from the company's acting commander would be a different story. In our heyday, we had a way of reaching him. Whistle at the forked road, and sooner or later he'd show himself. It didn't matter when, winter or summer, in broad sunlight or the dead of night. He'd always be watching from afar. With any luck, he still is now. But I've rambled on enough. Go on now. This may be our best and only hope. Okay, so we have to whistle at the fork in the road. So, let's go. Okay, we made it, so let's examine. Here I was enjoying my retirement. Why do you have to go and bloody whistle? Call me Lorenz. I'm the company's resident sharpshooter. At least I was in my day. No need to tell me who you are. I've been watching you for quite some time. Don't get the wrong idea. I'm just curious how my former mates are faring. Not as curious as folks were about me, though. First Whiskey, then old Mistbeard himself. Ha. As if those codgers could ever catch me. Now yours year's storied hero summoned me forth. No need to say why. You're going to ask me to help you take down the blasphemy. I'm not asking you, I'm ordering you. Have you forgotten the duty of the strong? Never could refuse whenever someone trotted out those acne words. So tell me, Acting Commander, what specific duty would you task me with? I trust you do have a plan. So you need a way to neutralize the beast's most potent attack. I can tell you like getting up close and personal with your foes. So you'll be needing support from a distance. Who do you suppose might be best suited to that role? You. Damn right, my eyes are amongst the keenest in the realm, and as you've doubtless heard from Whiskey, in pure marksmanship, none in Limsa are the Admiral's equal. Yeah, Marlib is ill-suited for a supporting role. Not for lack of skill, of course, but rather, come to think of it, there's something you should know. Follow me. Okay, so we have to follow Lorenz. So let's catch up to him. Okay, we caught up with Lorenz, so let's talk to him. So, quite the view, wouldn't you say? I often come here to admire the sea. If you would, indulge me for a moment, and I'll spin you a yarn. Just try not to doze off. Back in piracy's golden age, the League of Lost Bastards ruled the Rotano. I was one of them, as was Marlib. We were led by none other than her old man, Bofis Blusfind, the most feared captain on the high seas. Feared by his enemies, that is. Stern and unforgiving though he was, he took me under his wing and showed me the ropes. Aye, he was like a father to me, to us all, till that fateful day. Was in the year 1562 of the Sixth Astral Era. The Mizzen merchantmen were struggling with nigh constant raids by the Sahagin. Around this time, Bluefish had yielded the day-to-day leadership of the bastards to Marlib, his pride and joy. She was still growing into the role, though everyone knew the old captain was still calling the shots. Old Blowfish had his noble streak, he did. Ordered us to defend the traders from the fishbacks. Malik led the effort, and we fought day after day to keep the seas safe. The fighting was fierce, but we always came out in one piece, until we didn't. Until after a skirmish, a Sahagin survivor, with his last breath, summoned forth the Lord of the World. The great beast toppled our mast and cracked the keel like an egg. We clambered aboard the merchantman as our own ship sank. Naught to do but to wait for the end. But then comes Blowfish and his bleeding flotilla out of nowhere to pull us out of the fire, and he did. But the League of Lost Bastards would never be the same again, for even though we escaped with our lives, we soon discovered that Captain Blowfish, our iron-willed, unwavering leader, had fallen under Leviathan's thrall. Of course, in those days, we didn't know much about drowning or tempering. I didn't know what to make of our captain as he grew more haggard by the day, his words devolving into crazed rambling. And one day he vanishes, taking off with half of our men. Not long after, a band of pirates calling themselves the Serpent Reavers began taking prizes in the Indigo Deep alongside the Sahagin. At their helm was none other than Captain Blowfish, who cast his lot with the fishbacks. Molib knew that what had to be done, and to her credit, she didn't shirk from the deed. She acted quickly, sneaking off under cover of night with a skeleton crew without so much as telling me. Of course, that didn't stop me from stowing myself in the cargo hold and joining her on the voyage. She was not too happy to see me at first, wanted to leave me out of it, she said. But seeing as I made myself known when she was struggling to fend off a horde of reavers and fishbacks, it wasn't hard to win her over. Her twin muskets felling one after the next, as my sharpshooting kept her safe from afar. We cut a path to the centre of the isle. It was there that we found Blowfish, or rather the miserable wretch he'd been reduced to. All bones with skin shriveled and a tangled mat of white hair, eyes blooded from his head like a fish as he prayed to the Lord of the World. So Marlib challenged him to a duel, and dim memory must have flickered in his drowned mind, for he accepted. And so, with only me there to witness it, Marlib ended her father's life. The League of Lost Bastards would have lived up to its name if it weren't for Marlib. She assumed full command and restored us to our former glory. Not long after, she triumphed in the Trident and was named Chief Admiral of Lim Solaminza. I often think back upon that day, seeing her charge into battle, muskets blazing. Might seem reckless to some, but that's how Captain Blowfist taught her, and she knows no other way. That's why I made it my job to support her from the shadows, and it's a role in which I'll happily serve again. I owe that much to her old man. My only doubt was whether you, my friend, were worthy of commanding me, but watching you from afar has answered that question. I tell Whiskey and the rest of my no-good companions that Lorenz stands with them. Cool. Fair enough. Okay, so we need to go back and talk to Whiskey. So, let's go. Alright, we made it back to Whiskey, so let's talk to him. Did Lorenz show himself? Ha, now there's a surprise. I had some hope your words might reach him, but never did I imagine that he'd agree so readily. Just one thing, Mithrie. I'd appreciate it if you didn't mention Lorenz's involvement to the company. Landonell in particular. They'll find out soon enough regardless. At any rate, this gives us new hope in our battle against the blasphemy. All that remains is to set the snare and lure the beast into our clutches. Our scouts are on the lookout for the creature as we speak. If the latest reports are to be believed, we are drawing ever closer. And with that, I'd best get back to it. Can I trust you to report these latest developments to the Maelstrom? Till we meet again, Commander. Alright, so let's go back and talk to the Secretariat. Okay, we made it back to the Maelstrom Command, so let's talk to her. So the search for the blasphemy continues, so I understand that you've been carrying out an entirely different investigation. A marksman by the name of Lorenzo, the Admiral will be pleased. Of course, we won't have much call for his skills until the blasphemy is found. Rest well and prepare yourself as necessary in the meantime. Lorenz, why does that ring a bell? Okay, let's complete. And there we go. Level 90 Reaver. So I'll do the level 90 quest in the next video. So anyway, guys, that's it for this episode. Thank you for watching, and as always, goodbye from me, and goodbye from Mithrie. Bye, guys.